Corey here with the Charleston Property Group. It's crazy to think that we're already halfway through 2022, and I wanted to provide some insight about the local housing market. There's been a lot of talk of, hey, are we in a shift and things are changing a little bit and mortgage rates are going up, are prices going to fall? So here are my thoughts and my predictions and some insight based on data of what to expect as we move forward. When we look ahead to what the housing market will likely do over the next few months or maybe the year, let's reflect for a minute on how crazy the market has been. With talks of seasoned real estate veterans in many different markets, a lot of them really have a common theme of just frustration. Multiple offers on many homes selling way above asking price. Lots of homes in the Charleston area specifically selling for cash, which just makes it frustrating. So we are definitely looking forward to more of a balanced market on the horizon. And we're starting to see signs of that with more homes and inventory starting to creep up. So it's definitely true that the market's starting to cool down just a little bit. And I've heard more talk of maybe we're entering into a housing market correction. So let's first start off with defining exactly what a correction is. And basically, it's about a 10% or greater decline in a price of any kind of security, asset, or financial market. In our example, obviously here, the real estate market. However, as you can see in the bottom right on the graph, home prices are actually forecasted to go up for the remainder of 2022 and likely into next year. I personally feel the better way to describe it is that the real estate market is at a turning point, not necessarily a market correction. We're definitely starting to see signs of a new direction, but the ball is still in the seller's court in most housing markets and in most areas around the country. I've even heard talks of a recession. I think most of the main media outlets will agree, and most of them have hit on this at some point or another over the past few months. But with rising gas prices and interest rates going up and affordability going down, the talks of a recession are absolutely on the horizon. I don't want to speculate today too much on if we are or if we're not heading into a recession, but I do want to point out that over the past 6 recessions, home values actually went up. The biggest outlier here, obviously, being the Great Recession of 2008, when the housing market was actually the biggest driving factor in the recession that we entered into. A little more on a point that I made earlier about the number of homes for sale going up. We're looking here at, again, some more local data from the Charleston area MLS, and we can definitely start to see a trend with the number of home for sale to the inventory is rising. Really down from the low point that we saw at the beginning of this year, really historic low point that we've ever seen in our Charleston MLS of just around 1,000 homes for sale. Taking a look at the number of pending home sales in the Charleston area over the past few years, we're currently sitting with a very healthy number. I don't feel that we're going to see quite the number of home sales that we saw in 2020 and 2021, both of which were record-setting years. I do feel like we're going to be more in the mirror maybe of the 2019 years, which was a very healthy, honestly, more of a balanced real estate market. Taking a look at the median sales price for homes in the Charleston area, you can see that we had a really hefty increase in sales prices over the past 12 months. There's no indication that that's going to stop. However, the rate of increase will likely slow down, but home prices are by no means forecasted to go down by any stretch. So one of the strategies of the Fed was to increase the interest rate to halt the crazy market that we've seen over the past couple of years. With interest rates in the 2-3%, buyer activity was just through the roof. So as we've seen, and one of the biggest driving factors on why the market's just started to cool down a little bit, obviously, is because of the rising interest rates. And a lot of people are speculating, where are they going to go? Taking a look at interest rates from the very beginning of 2022, we can see there was obviously another sharp increase from about February to the beginning of April, where rates really went from the 3% range all the way up to around 5%. However, recently, here in the past 60 days, we've really started to see those numbers plateau. And while no one has the forecasted crystal ball, so to speak, it's highly unlikely that they'll go really much beyond where they're at right now in the foreseeable future. Most of the indicators that we do look at concerning mortgage rates do forecast that they are projected to increase going into next year. And taking a closer look at a graph that we discussed at the very intro to this video, the forecast for the rest of the year for home prices. And as we've talked about, it's highly unlikely that we're going to see the 15, 16, 17% year-over-year increase that we saw in the Charleston area last year. However, home prices are absolutely forecasted to keep going up almost in the double digits. So I break that down mainly in the realm of affordability. There's two things that really you should be looking at when you buy a house, and that's what's your monthly payment going to be moving forward, and what's your cash to close, or what's your down payment going to look like. And in both of those scenarios, that number is likely going to go up. Your monthly payment on a house that you might be looking at today, and the down payment or cash to close, if you wait 6 months, a year from now, likely both your down payment, cash to close, and your monthly payment is going to increase. So I just don't see any reason to wait. If you have any specific questions, or we can help maybe give you an accurate idea of what your home would currently sell for in today's market, feel free to reach out. We are always here to help you.